Hi, you guys. Welcome back. My name is Carrie Penny. I am the Happy Crafty Homemaker, and welcome to Show and Tell number 103, I believe. So, life updates. I had my surgery. Everything's okay, but I am still healing. I can't really get up and out of the floor very easily, so we are doing a standing filming video. It is Monday morning. We're at about 10 a.m., so I'm sorry about the glare coming in from the window, but we're going to kind of roll with what we got here. I did want to go ahead and get some things filmed because I got tagged in the yarn tag video that should have gone out on Tuesday. I did get this month's Yarn Yay video or box, so that should have gone out on Thursday. So hopefully this will be Saturday's video. Next time you see me, hopefully I will be doing substantially better as far as being able to freely move and things like that. But once again, it was no big deal. I do want to thank you guys who reached out to make sure I was doing okay and everything. It really was appreciated. It is what it is. So I'm just kind of trying to do the best I can. So if I get like fidgety and weird and start moving, like, please bear with me. That's one of the reasons why I sit when I film normally. But I don't really have a place where I either need to be standing and have everything elevated so I can show you things, or I need to be seated in the floor where I have a little bit more stability. So my options were kind of limited as to how we were going to do this today. So, yeah. Oh, let me get my shoes off because that'll help me with the fidgeting thing. Anyway, I hope you guys had a fantastic week. I am really happy to be spending this time with you guys. I don't want to take up too much of your time, so let's roll on with what I did for the first week of recuperating. So the first thing I did finish was my Yarn Yay project from box number 1. This is an infinity scarf. I did do the crochet version of it. And obviously, if I can't get around in the floor, I did not get this blocked or seamed or anything like that. But this has more than enough stretch to be the right length for an infinity scarf for me. So I'm good with it. Love the colors. Very simple project. Very easy to memorize the stitch pattern, which was definitely nice over the last couple days. There's going to be a lot of rolling my eyes going, yeah, that worked great for the last week. I've spent about 70% of my time in some form of a reclining or seated position. And normally I sit for about 30% of my daytime and stay active for about 70%. So this is mentally been a little trying for me. Not going to lie, it's been a little exhausting for me to spend this much time not moving, not doing, not standing, not walking, not cleaning, not having to be still. So the next thing I worked on, I actually started this. Oh, I should have warned you guys about the wiggle. I'm really, really sorry. My sewing cutting table is not entirely stable. So if there's wiggling, I do apologize. Grab a sip of my drink here. Anyway. So Tuesday after my surgery, I really wasn't moving. Once I got seated, it was stay put. So I started a new project. Back when Michaels had put all of the seasonal Caron cakes on sale, I did find some online. So I placed an order for some of the standard Caron cakes, like the OG style, 20% wool, 80% acrylic ones. And I ordered 3 of each color that I ordered. I ordered 4 colors. One, they only could ship me 1 color, and that was this one. So this is Iced Mint. And I sat down to find a pattern that would perfectly use most of one ball. And this did so perfectly. This is the Galaxy Lemonade Shawl. It is an easy eyelet lace pattern with garter stitch separating it. I do really love the size of this. This is fully unblocked. Once again, haven't been able to crawl around on the floor. I love the colors. I love the banding on this. I don't mind at all where the colors change, like in the middle of a section. I actually think that adds a little bit more detail. But this also showcases one of the reasons why I love working with this yarn, even though it does have abrupt color changes. If you choose the right pattern, the color changes are hidden in the texture. So my first couple ones, they were hidden within the eyelet section. It would be on a knit row or on an eyelet row where the color would change. And then even down here where it changed on the knit row down here, it's not a sharp transition because it's hidden within the texture of the shawl. So this was iced mint. So if you did get some of the Caron cakes that were part of the winter collection, that's what iced mint looks like worked up. Love it, love it, love it. I would really love to have this in a solid. This color right here. Now, the blues are gorgeous. The greens are gorgeous. But this color right here, this tealy, almost matcha color, that's what I would love to have. Like the actual matcha leaves, not like what matcha looks like in a drink. Dried tea leaf green. But yeah, so I will have a link. Any pattern that has a link, I will have linked down below in my description box as always. So there's that. There's not a pattern for the scarf. There is a pattern for this. It's a free pattern from Cascade Yarns, Galaxy Lemonade Shawl. And it perfectly uses one cake. I had one little ball this big and one little ball this big. And the pattern, as written, worked out perfectly to gauge to use my Caron cake. Next up. So, you already saw a flash of the color. Many years ago, many years ago, Hobby Lobby put a truly lurid, eye-wateringly obnoxious color of yarn on clearance for $1.49 a ball at my Hobby Lobby. And I bought all of it. And I knew when I bought it exactly what I wanted to make with it. I do have some extras over here. So this is I Love This Yarn Prince in the color Electricana. From the word go, I knew, I'll set that down there and reshelve in a minute, I wanted to make a campfire cardi out of it. So if you're not familiar with the campfire cardigan pattern, it is a pattern available to purchase without ads on Lovecrafts, which is where I picked up the paid for pattern. It is also free on the Make and Do Crew website. It uses a granny hexie to make the foundation of the sweater. And you fold two together. It's so lurid. I love it. It does have a hood in the pattern. I did make some alterations to this. And if I were going to make it again, I will make some other alterations to it. I have not woven in all my ends yet. I did just finish this last night. I should have worn a black shirt to try this on. So I don't like things that come all the way down on my hands unless I can like put my thumb through it and like cuff it. So I did do the first couple of the taper rows here. I think I did 2 decreases as written. But to join the sleeves together and to join the back together back here, you couldn't hear that. To join the back together, I actually used a granny stitch join so it stayed in pattern in the alternating shape. So my sleeves ended up a little bit wider than I would have wanted because of that extra 2 rows on the top, but the back's perfect. What I should do next time, if I make this again, I will do, this is the medium large. I will do the small medium next time. I will try to put this on with a pair of leggings or set it out so you can actually see the whole sweater all at once. But down here, I did obviously add length because it was up above my hips. So you can see starting, ooh, that is hard to see. Even on camera. Starting here. There down is my straight rows where I just worked back and forth to make the bottom longer after I got it seamed together. I love how that back seam turned out, because you almost can't tell where the squares end or the hexagons end on either side. And I did not do the hood, obviously. I have mixed feelings on hoods. They're the kind of thing I like the idea of, but not quite. But I wanted a new I Feel Moopy thing just to curl up in. And this seemed like the perfect color option. It is loud, is it intrusive, it is obnoxious, and it's neon, and I love it. So that is my campfire cardie. I will like steam it out and stuff and probably show it to you guys again when I am able to move a little bit more freely. But I am exceedingly happy with how well this turned out. I do have just enough yarn to make another one in, I think it's this colorway, which is another one that was purchased on clearance. This is I Love This Yarn, super soft. This is the aqua blue, which nobody's ever understood why that was called aqua blue. I do also have a speckled yarn that I have a pink and speckled that together I could make another one of the campfire cardies, but I really love how that went together. There are a couple other things like that that I have had on my list of things to make that I've just never gotten around to, and I've been on a real granny kick. I did start a granny square blanket when I was going in for my surgery, just so I had something to keep my hands busy, because you know when you go in, like they process you and everything, and they get you hooked up to your saline drip, and then you're stuck there waiting for the surgeon to be ready for you. So if you remember one of my videos last week, I was like, oh my God, I'm so sorry about that. That was really bad timing because I had to take that call. That was actually Monday of last week, and they were calling to see if I could come in early for my surgery, which is perfect. I would rather get it done as fast as possible, be done, and just, yeah. But we had to get there at 3, and we didn't leave the hospital until 7:30. So there was like, I was probably there at 2:45, processed through administration no later than 3:15. And then from 3:15 to 6:15, I was sitting there going, what do I do with myself while I sit here? And poor Troy had to sit there and wait with me. I kept trying to get him to go get a cup of coffee or, you know, walk around and get a break, move the car if he wanted to. And he's like, no, I'll stay. And he was so tired. We didn't sleep well Sunday night. So he was like dozing off up against the wall. And yeah. So I did have my granny square project with me so I could start some granny squares to do some lap gans out of the loops and thread. Impeccable I'm wanting to use up this year. Work through, donate, or gift. And the colors were just perfect. I kind of was in the mood to use those. So that's what I'm doing with that. So I was doing that. I do have a Just Feel Festive shawl I started last year that I have been wanting to get finished, because one of my goals is to have all of my 2020 whips either frogged or finished by the end of 2021. So yeah, I've been on a real granny kick. So that kind of is what spurned doing this on. I didn't want to do another 12-inch granny square, but I wanted to do something that I could just sit in bed and mindlessly work on while watching YouTube videos on the TV. So I will end up doing another one, I'm sure, because I really do like the construction of this, and especially doing it in a single yarn, you don't get the striping across your tuchus that can make you look even broader in the beam than you actually are. So last thing I have to share with you guys, and then I am going to go sit down and relax for the rest of the day, is I do have an acquisition from Michaels. I know a lot of you guys have seen these. Affordably Crafty has been, I forgot her name, sharing with everybody that these are on clearance over at Michaels. I'm sorry for the wiggling, but I'm very excited about these because I'm just excited about these. After doing that Silent Night Cowl, or not Silent Night, Summer Nights. There we go. Summer Night shawl in the yarn from my LYS, the cotton acrylic blend from my LYS. I've been kind of more curious about working with like the Red Heart version of it, and it just happened to be going on clearance at Michael's for $5 a cake. So I did get 2 of the It's a Wrap Rainbow in Sea Glass. These are 150 grams, 623 yards each, which is why I got 2. That gives me more than enough to do a single project or 2 projects, depending on how I want to play with these. I do have a couple other cakes that are these super fine weight. I've got one from Hobbii. I've got, oh, I can't remember what it's called. I'm looking straight at it and it didn't draw my memory. It's a super fine wool blend one that's very similar, that's from Lion Brand. So I got these 2. Then I got, oh, I am really sorry about that. I do like the standing to film thing. I'm just not used to it. It's a Wrap regular. This is cotton and acrylic 50-50. This is 200 grams, and this is 1,100 yards. And I got one in this color. This is Comedy. Very, very bright and happy. I think that one might be a shawl. That just might have to be another shawl. I also got this one in Documentary, which I've mentioned, you know, starting in 2020, I've been on this real blue kick. Not aqua like my normal color. True blue. I don't know what the deal is. I'm just loving the blue. And this last one is Romance. Totally Romance. So I kind of enjoy I think there's the black and white one was called like Tragedy too. I like the literary references there, but the one I'm most excited about is definitely the Sea Glass. I love the gradient on that. So beautiful. I just absolutely gorgeous, in love with it. Cannot wait to try working with it. So that is what my first week of recuperation has looked like. It's been exactly 1 week because it's, like I said, Monday when I'm filming this. I did not want to get so far out ahead in working on things that I couldn't like show everything in one video. I do have one more purchase that does not count towards my yarn stash down stuff that should be here in the next couple of days. Yeah. Oh, I do have another finished object. I have to insert pictures though. So somebody in my personal life was in need of extra love in the last week. And I was working on this shawl. Yeah. When I got the news that they needed a hug. So I decided as soon as I finished, since that's the shawl I was working on and it was going to be a donation shawl anyway, it was already a prayer shawl. So I'd been saying a prayer for whoever received it. May they, you know, be better soon. Feel better soon. I thought that she would get a much better use out of that than me just straight up donating it like I do most of my prayer shawls. So that is the only Lenten shawl for Lent, that has been sent out or rehomed so far. She should have gotten it over the weekend. I'm hoping it brought some comfort and she knew that somebody was thinking about her when she needed it. But I did get that finished. That took quite a bit. That was done in the Lion Brand cupcake in the color Robin's Egg, holding 2 strands together in the lemon peel stitch. So it did actually take 5 cakes of yarn to finish that shawl. It was quite a bit of yarn. It took me quite a bit of time, which is why my final shawl ended up being a little bit late. Normally I try to get them done within a couple of days of Easter. I didn't get this started until the Tuesday after Easter. So I do have one shawl for every week of Lent that will to be donated or gifted now. And so those are ready to be finished. I need to weave in ends, do some blocking, things like that. But those are all ready for new homes otherwise. And yeah, so I got 4 objects finished. All of them were new starts. My goal for April had been, you know, finishing some of the projects I already had started. So For this week, I know I'm going to try to work on the pillowcase that I have for a Christmas pillowcase cover. All I have to do is the back overlapping panels and I'm done. It's been sitting there for 7 years like it is now. Well, not quite 7 years. Maybe, well, we've been here 2.5, 3.5, 4, 5 years. It's a 5-year-old UFO sitting there at least. So I'm going to try to get that pillowcase done. And that's a very interesting project. So I will discuss that more like in depth when it's finished. And I want to finish the Just Feel Festive shawl I have started. It's like 40% done in Peyton's Touch of Alpaca in the colorway Midas. If you guys remember, I was trying to find more of that yarn. By the time I was able to get the yarn here, I just kind of started working on other things and forgot about it. So I do want to work on that. I am working on my black, gray, and red blanket that will be a gift later on this year. I have a lot of things going on that I'm just enjoying working on. And plus I have the Yarn Yay project for this month as well. So I'm kind of looking forward to jumping into that. All right, you guys. I've talked to you long enough. We're over 20 minutes and I don't want to keep you guys so long. So adios. Adieu. I will see you guys real soon. I love you. As always, please take care of yourselves and know that I'm thinking about you. Thank you so much for your support and love, and I'll see y'all real soon. Bye, guys.